Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah, so today we are going to have a session on digital governance. This is a part of second year BA semester 4 of public administration. Okay, so let us have a brief introduction about me. I'm Pankaj Kumar, PhD doctoral fellow in public administration from Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar Open University, Hyderabad. So in this class, today I'm going to give you overall view of what digital governance is all about. So in this block or in this session, uh, we are actually going to have a so in this session, we are going to have a two block. Block one, which consists of concepts of digital governance, and this block will cover three units. Unit one consists of digital governance, evolution, and models. Then we will talk about digital India. What are the different aspects of digital India? What digital India is all about? Then the third unit will cover digitalization and organization culture, and what is the importance of digitalization and organization culture on performance of an organization. Then in block two, we will again cover three different units. Unit four consists of national e-governance plan. Unit five, digital literacy, Akshaya, and then unit six, that is ICT, citizen services. So all these three units come under mission mode projects. Okay. So now we are going to have a today, what we'll do today, we'll try to cover we'll cover block one, which consists of three units: unit one, unit two, and unit three. And tomorrow we'll cover next three units. Okay. So let me. I'm sharing slide now. Let us come on digital governance, the concepts of digital governance. So basically, in this block, it will introduce the concept of digital governance, and the three units will cover. These are the following themes. So unit one will it will basically cover evolution and models of digital governance, like how digital governance have evolved and what are its different types of models. Then here I'll also explain you the difference between digital governance and e-governance. Normally, some scholars they use this word interchangeably, e-governance and digital governance. However, there is subtle difference between digital governance and e-governance. Then I'll also throw some light on what are the different components of digital governance. Okay. Then in unit two, I'll explain about Digital India program, which basically it aims to empower our country into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. Okay. Then here I'll also discuss about uh, what are the different types of services being provided by Digital India, and I'll also explain about the pros and cons of Digital India. Then in unit three, I'll try to explain how digitalization and organizational culture they influence organizational performance. Okay. So first thing first, this is unit one, that is digital governance, evolution, and models. Okay. So here we'll again go through these different themes consist of objectives, introduction, concepts and meaning, then evolution of digital governance, importance of digital governance, components of digital governance, models of digital governance. Before I'll sum up. Okay. Then let us directly move to what are the objectives of digital governance? Why do we need digital governance? Why do we need to study digital governance? So objective basically are these are the five different objectives to study digital governance. That number one, basically we try to understand the concepts of digital governance. That how uh, digital governance has evolved from government to governance, and then digital governance. Then I'll also describe the evolutionary process of digital governance and what are the factors which come into play for evolution of digital governance. For example, like customer based on customer experience, what is the public value being served by digital governance? Then how this citizen security is also an important aspect of digital governance. Then how with the rapid advancement of technology, the workforce becoming more technology savvy. So how there is a need of digital governance. Then our smart infrastructure, they also demands uh, there is a need to govern those infrastructure. There is a need for governance of those infrastructure, which are smart and digital infrastructure. So that is also another factor which comes into play when we uh, study digital governance. Then I'll also throw some light on what is the significance and importance of business process engineering, mainly in government. Then I'll also try to identify various models of digital governance, and I'll explain you in briefly. And I'll also try to explain what are the issues in implementation of digital governance. Okay. Then let us move to them. Just a minute. So the concept of digital governance. So there is a before we go into concept of digital governance, there is a thinker called Stoker. So he has given the term governance. Earlier, it was used to believe people used to believe that governance evolved significantly, and government was often used interchangeably with the word government. However, there is a difference between governance and government. First, we'll try to understand what is the difference between government and governance. Then, from governance to digital governance. Okay. So, governance is basically a way to manage power and policy. Okay. And it is basically uh, seen as an alternative to the conventional top-down government control. However, what is government? Government is basically creating. It means creating. It is an entity which is concerned with creating conditions for ordered rule and collective action. Like there should be order in the society. For that, we need government. So government is basically an instrument to do that, right? And governance is seen as an alternative to conventional top-down government control. Okay. So governance, it is basically it embraces government institution. Like governance, if we just try to look at the domain of government and governance, we'll see that governance is much broader a concept than government, because governance it also includes government institutions, but it is not limited to that. It also goes beyond government institution. How does it go? How does it go beyond? Because it also covers informal organization, non-government governmental institution, which are often operating in the public realm. Okay. Now coming to the digital governments in a way it has transformed, or you can say it has revolutionized the society. Basically, more so in modern organization. So it is often opined that this concept of good governance it rests upon the foundation of digital governance, because today we witness the evolution and adoption of digital governance initiative in public organization, and which include like better customer experience, and they also give like public value, citizen security, future workforce, smart infrastructure. These are some factors which we already discussed. Then uh, how e-governance basically emerged around the turn of this century. Well, digital governance is somewhat of recent origin, which is often used as a uh, synonym for e-governance. However, digital governance is of recent origin. Now we'll try to understand what is the difference between e-governance and digital governance. So first, let us understand what is e-governance. So e-governance, it has emerged, as I told you, that during the turn of this 21st century, and uh, digital governance is somewhat of recent origin, right? Then there are some difference between digital governance and e-governance. So let us know these differences. Okay. So here e-governance, it basically refers to use of ICT in government services, or you can say that it means it is concerned with providing information and online transaction kind of services to citizens in a state by the government. And what is digital governance? It focuses on public participation and their role as citizens. Okay, so here you can see that in digital governance, there is a more emphasis on participation of people and citizen. Okay, then next difference is e-government emphasizes on greater transparency, user-centered approach, and ICT-enabled procedures. Whereas digital governance, it focuses on open and user-driven approaches, process, and operational transformation. It should be more user-friendly. Then e-governance means that services are electronic in the sense that there is a E is the letter E itself stands for electronic governance. Okay. Then there is a transfer of data and documents that have been digitized between network of computers. However, some scholars they believe that digital governance is like a manual government where the focus is more on participation of people and use of systems are purely manual. For example, the digital governance uses computers either for printing, scanning, uh, or for this data management. Okay. Then next, e-governance. Uh, I think this we already discussed that e-governance it means electronic governance and it is concerned with use and application of information and communication technology ICT at various levels of the government and also between different stakeholders like with government to government, government to citizen, government to business, like that. Okay. Let us understand concept of digital governance. There are some definition given by scholars, so that we'll try to understand. So there is a scholar called J. Looney, J.O. Looney, uh, who has given digital governance definition as an application of technology to the functioning of the government to enhance the delivery of public services to the citizens and other individual and organizational consumers of the government services. So here you can understand. Hopefully, I am audible. There was some technical glitch, so it was not coming properly. Now, yeah. Hopefully, am I audible? Can you hear me now? Okay, fine. So I'm sharing document again. Yeah, yeah. So there was a technical glitch. So I'm sharing the document again. For concept of digital governance, this definition by J.O. Looney, we already discussed. Then digital governance or e-governance, it can also be defined as the application of electronic means in interaction between government and citizen, government and businesses, and internal government means government to government, from a state to central government, from one department of state government to another department of state government. Okay. Then there is another scholar called Welchman, who has given a definition of digital governance, that digital governance is a framework for establishing accountability, roles, and decision making authority for an organization's digital presence. So this is considered a very like comprehensive and broad definition. So the digital governance means using information and communication technology at various levels of the government and the public sector and beyond for the purpose of enhancing governance. So you must be finding some similarity between definition of e-governance and digital governance. However, there is one catchword here, like its purpose is to enhance the governance. Okay. So in governance, like government doesn't govern alone. In governance, what happens? That government governs through different stakeholders. Like government, in the process of governance, government is just one of these several stakeholders, including citizens, businesses, civil society, NGOs, and there are different stakeholders. Okay. Then let us go into importance of digital governance. So there are different importance. I think if you try to think of what can be the different significance and importance of digital governance, then today you may find a lot of examples where in this era of digital governance, we are finding that government is trying to provide better service delivery to the citizens, Aadhaar services, then ensuring transparency and accountability, how? Through RTI, Right to Education Act, then empowering people through information, how? There are digital dashboard where you can try to understand or evaluate the performance of different schemes and programs of the government at both center and state level. Then improving efficiency within government also. There is a they have introduced e-office, and there is a lot of digitalization work being going on uh, in government organization. Paperless system. They are trying to promote paperless, less use of paper. Then there is also like enhancing interaction between business and industry for approval of some business project. So there have been a lot of e-governance, or you can say digital governance. Then it also aims to satisfying citizens. For example, if citizens are provided much better service delivery, then of course it will lead to better satisfaction. Then it would also initiate some process and interaction with the government. For example, like even with mygov, mygov.gov.in, mygov.in, where you can directly put your views and feedback. Then using technology as a tool to ensure good governance. Of course, technology has become a tool to ensure and promote good governance. Then Robert Putnam, there is another thinker of Harvard, and he has written a very influential book, Bowling Alone. So here he argues that there is a need for citizens to come face to face to discuss issues, like help individual learn the necessary negotiation skills, appreciate the viewpoints of others. For example, if when there is a policy formulation, before that or even during draft of the policy, government asks for feedback of different stakeholders, right? So that is kind of interaction with the government of citizens. There is interaction between government and citizens. So that can here also digital governance or e-governance can play a very significant role, right? Then another important thing is like with the rapid advancement of technology, there will be more sophisticated or complex digital technology. Okay, so which will enable extensive use of technology to re-engage people with the democratic process. So in a way, it can be said that digital governance can promote uh, or widen the scope of interaction in a democracy between citizens and government. Okay. Then next are components of digital governance. What are the components of digital governance? There are six different components of digital governance. Number one is digital strategy, then digital policy, then comes digital standards, next comes digital guidelines, then digital processes, and digital team structure. So, what are the components of digital governance? What are these six components of digital governance? These six components of digital governance are nothing but just they are different pillars which go on to make the digital governance. They are kind of skeleton, or you can say uh, they are different components which go on to give the wholesome uh, wholesome idea of digital governance, and they are the different pillars on which you can say that digital governance is standing upon, or they are kind of foundation for digital governance. They are different components. Okay. So now I'll quickly explain these six components of digital governance. Okay. So like what is the digital strategy? First, we'll try to understand what is a digital strategy. So what is the mean by digital strategy? It means it is a kind of digital governance framework which enables to take effective decisions in executing a digital strategy. So this framework, it sets the rules for digital engagement related to ownership of digital content like information, graphics, social media updates. It also ensures flexibility, and it raises quality and manages risk of security breaches and lawsuits. Okay. So digital strategy, it basically includes a mix of some senior executives, business analysts, and digital experts. Okay. And this framework also describes roles and responsibilities and authorities on taking decisions and accountability, okay, of each stakeholder. So that is digital strategy. Then comes digital policy. These are basically guidelines to manage risk and ensure organizations' core interests are served while executing the digital strategy. Okay. So they are a kind of combination of suitable corporate policies, vertical industry policies, and national policies. Okay. Next comes digital standard. What is the digital standard? They are nothing but digital standards comprise of quality specification. They're related to designs, data, servers, networks, and even organization values. Okay. Then they are defined keeping in mind about the industry standards and digital customer experiences. Right. So digital strategy we discussed, then digital policy, then digital standard. Next come digital guidelines. So digital guidelines are similar to normal organizational guidelines, which provide advice and tips which are often drawn upon, like what are the digital best practices and some practical experiences from doing digital work in the organization. So they come up as a guidelines, or sometimes they are also aspirational in a sense that where employees are expected to comply with digital policies and digital standard. Okay. Next come digital processes. This one, digital processes. So what are the digital processes? The digital processes, they are also called workflow. Processes means different steps, which they basically specify the steps that need to be taken to complete a task. Okay. So documenting the steps is really important. When teams must regularly collaborate, it demands collaboration from different teams for consistent execution. Okay. For example, like somebody is writing an editorial, then they need to there should be employees who need to know who will be responsible for each step. Like there are different steps. Like somebody would be proposing a piece of content and creating the first draft. Then there will be someone who will approve it or publish it. Then there will be someone who will monitor it and eventually like archiving it. Okay. So there has to be some agreed upon process. Okay. The work is likely to become, if there is no agreed upon process, what will happen? Basically, this work will become disorganized and it will hamper efficiency and effectiveness. Then the last component of digital governance is digital team structure. Okay. So the digital team structure is ties to the organization chart and employee job description. It enables, there should be, there is for any organization, there has to be normal team structure. Okay. But in digital governance, in addition to normal team structure, there has to be a digital team structure. Why there has to be a digital team structure? Because it will enable employees to organize into teams to support digital objectives. Okay. Like there will be a core digital team, there will be a distributed digital team, there will be digital working groups, an extended digital team. Okay. So finally, it can be said that digital governance, it enables an organization to do digital businesses more effectively. Okay. Then what is the next? Next comes, there are different models of having discussed this. We'll go to models of digital governance. So what are the models of digital governance? What do you understand by models of digital governance? They are basically few theoretical models of digital governance, and they serve as a guide to make this idea of digital governance into reality. Okay. What are they? So what are the different models of digital governance? These models, they basically enable equal access to information to anyone who is linked to the digital network and deconcentration of information across the entire digital area network. For example, like they sometimes keep on expanding and evolving as new application of ICT. And the developing countries are basically, they're trying to experiment to find which models will be more effective for them. Okay. So there are some digital governance models which should be examined, and why there is a importance of digital governance model, basically for emergence of knowledge societies and knowledge networks. Then the role of information in governance process is also important. Then comes the link between ICT and governance. What is that? So all these models basically, they share in common the inherent characteristics of the new technology, and they also enable equal access to information to anyone who is a link to the digital network and deconcentration. Okay. So there are few models of digital governance which we will discuss here. So what are the different models of digital governance? Number one, broadcasting or wider dissemination model. Can you see it? Yeah. So this is broadcasting wider dissemination model. Then comes critical flow model. Then comparative analysis model. The next is e-advocacy, lobbying, and pressure group model. And next is interactive service model. So I'll quickly give you a brief idea about all these different models. So number one is broadcasting model. So what happens here? This is basically based on dissemination of available government information into the wider public domain through the use of ICT and convergent media. Here, the word broadcasting itself is self-explanatory. Broadcasting, what does it mean to broadcast? It means the governance-related information which is already available in the public domain. It is further spread into the wider public domain by using modern information and communication technology. So this aims at creating awareness among the citizens about ongoing governance processes and services, and it will enable them to avail the benefits of it. For example, we often hear that due to lack of awareness, there are a lot of uh, you can say that missing beneficiaries of government schemes, or government schemes are not necessarily benefited all the targeted beneficiaries for which those schemes are meant for. Okay. So that is a broadcasting model. So examples include like government, it will put some laws and legislation online, making available online the contact details of government official, making available government fiscal information such as government plans, budgets, key judicial decision online. Okay. So that is broadcasting or wider dissemination model. The next comes critical flow model. So what is critical flow model? This model is based on the principle of dissemination or channelizing of information of critical value to targeted audience or in wider public domain through the use of ICT. Critical information, okay, or information of critical value. So here the target audience is like there may be a specific organization or a specific group of people like media, affected parties, opposition parties, judicial bench, independent investigators, or the general public. So this model could be applied like in making available corruption related data about a particular ministry, division, official online to its electoral constituency, or making available research studies, inquiry reports, impact studies, or government independent commissions report, making human rights violation cases violation freely available to the judiciary, NGO, concerned citizen, making available information that is usually suppressed, for instance, environmental information on radioactivity spills, etc. So these are critical flow model. Okay. Then comes comparative analysis model. What do you mean by comparative analysis model? So this model is based on exploring information available in the public or private domain and comparing it with the known information to derive strategic learnings in organizations. So this model is basically used to empower people by comparing cases of bad governance with those of good governance and identifying specific aspects of bad governance, the reasons and people behind them, and how the situation can be improved. So this model is based on using immense capacity of information and communication technology and social media tools to explore the given information, like comparing CSG reports and some best practices in different areas of governance and like good governance index. There are different indices prepared by state or central government or even by some international organization like Hunger Index, etc. Okay. Then next comes e-advocacy, lobbying, and pressure group model. Here, the name itself suggests that it is one of the most frequently used digital governance model and it has often come to aid of global civil society to impact on global decision-making processes. It is based on setting up a planned, directed flow of information to build strong virtual allies to complement actions in the real world. It is also based on forming of virtual communities which start similar values and concepts. And these communities in turn, like there are some reports by the global, like there is one organization, uh, Reporters Without Border. So they come, there are some civil societies across the world. They come up together with some reports, which often unravel some corruption cases or human rights violation. So this model of digital governance come under e-advocacy model. Okay. Then comes service delivery model. This is the last model, interactive service delivery model. So this model is a consolidation of the earlier model, and it opens up avenues for direct participation of individuals in the government process. So this model is very important. Like there are models like mygov, mygov.in portal, where citizens can directly give their feedback to the government about the services being delivered to the citizens, their quality and all. Okay. So these are kind of uh, like portal where citizens can directly provide their feedback and like government to consumer to government channel. Then this model can be applied in the other different ways also. like to establish an interactive communication channel with the policymakers, key policymakers, and members of planning commission. Then it can also be used to conduct electronic ballots for the election of government official and other office bearers, to conduct public debates, opinion polls. Then there is some filing of grievances, feedback reports, and these are the different ways. Then finally, we'll sum up by that this promoting digital inclusiveness. It means we have to address various ways and various forms and sources of digital divide. So what are the challenges? There are challenges like digital divide, digital illiteracy, then lack of absence of digital infrastructure in some remote areas, some tribal areas, due to geographical factors and other different factors. So by streamlining or by solving these obstacles, digital governance can truly lead to very knowledge power society or knowledge economy. Okay, so that is the crux of this chapter. Now after that we'll move to the units 2, second unit. Second unit basically consists of digital India. So in this unit we'll quickly go through objectives of digital India. Then I'll give you a brief introduction about that. Then what are the pillars of digital India? Digital India services being provided by the government. There are different types of services, education services, health services, and all. Then what are the benefits of digital India? That also I'll cover. Then we'll go to AIM governance. What is AIM governance? That also I'll explain it to you. And we'll also discuss about mobile service delivery gateway, MSDG. Then Make in India, cashless India, benefits of cashless India. And before summing up, I'll also discuss what are the challenges of digital India. Okay. Okay. So let us quickly go to the objectives of digital India. So what are the different objectives of digital India? Different objectives of this chapter will be to describe the objectives of digital India. I'll also explain the services of digital India, then examine the challenges of digital India. Then introduction of digital India. Digital India, this project was launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 1st July 2015. When it was launched? It was launched on July 1st. It was launched on 2015. Okay. Then it is an effective scheme to transform India for better growth and development of the people and country. And Digital India Week is considered celebrated from 1st July to 7th July. And it was inaugurated by Prime Minister in the presence of senior ministerial colleagues and all. So basically, the Prime Minister is trying his best towards digitizing campaign for India in order to bridge the gap between government services and people. So, what are the objectives of Digital India? After understanding objective of this chapter, we'll try to understand what are the objectives of Digital India. Okay. So basically, there are three key vision you can say of Digital India program, and which can also be said the three objectives of Digital India. That is first, digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen. Number one, to provide digital infrastructure to every citizen as a utility. Number two, governance and services on demand. Like whenever you demand a service, that service can be delivered. Then third is digital empowerment of citizens. So these are the three different objectives. Number one, digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen. What does it mean? It means availability of high-speed internet as a core utility for delivery of services to citizens. Then number two, digital identity, that is unique, lifelong, online and authenticable. For example, e-Aadhaar, cradle to grave to every citizen. Then mobile phone and bank account. Okay, phone banking, mobile phone and bank account. So that citizen can participate in digital and financial space. Then easy access to common service center. Then safe and secure cyberspace. That is also an objective. Digital infrastructure is a utility to every citizen. Then comes governance and services on demand. Seamlessly integrated services across departments or jurisdiction. Availability of services in real time from online and mobile platforms. All citizen entitlements to be portable and available on the cloud. Digitally transformed services for improving ease of doing business. Making financial transaction electronic and cashless. Then it also tries to leverage geospace, geospatial information system for decision support system and development. For example, nowadays, government is aggressively focusing on this GIS system for better revenue generation in terms of better estimation of property taxes and all by geo mapping assets and geo mapping lands. Land digitalization is also a part of this. Then digital empowerment of citizens, universal digital literacy, universally accessible digital resources, availability of digital resources, services in Indian language, collaboration between digital platforms for participative governance, and citizens should not be required to physically submit government document certificate. They should be able to do it digitally. Okay, before going into there. So we can see that there has been a lot of emphasis and even results are showing up of digital governance initiative being taken in our country. Okay. The names next comes pillars of digital India. What is digital India? I'll quickly try to sum it up. So digital India is an umbrella program that covers multiple government ministries and departments. Uh, it is basically implemented by the entire government with overall coordination being done by the Department of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay. So it basically weaves together a large number of ideas and thoughts into a single comprehensive vision so that each of them can be implemented as part of a larger goal. Okay. So we have seen this one, pillars of digital India. We are saying this one, pillars of digital India. Pillars of digital India. Okay. Then it also aims to provide the much needed thrust to 9 pillars of the growth areas. What are the different 9 pillars? Broadband highways. There are 9 different pillars. There are 9 different pillars. There is okay. So there are 9 different pillars. So what are those pillars that you can just go to text and you can just try to remember. Number 5, e-Kranti, electronic delivery of services. Number 5, information to all. Electronics manufacturing. Number 6. Number 7, IT for jobs and early harvest program. Number 8. Number 9, e-governance, reforming government through technology. Then each of these areas is a complex program in itself. They like cuts across multiple ministries and departments. So which demands a closer collaboration and cooperation between different ministries and departments. Okay. Next comes Digital India Services. So what are the Digital India Services? I'll just quickly give you some names and briefly describe. Agri market application, the mobile application, which has been developed with an aim to keep farmers abreast or aware with the crop prices and discourage them to carry out distress sale. What is distress sale? Distress sale means a farmer like he's in some urgency and difficulty to sell out their crops to get like whatever prices they are able to get. And in distress sale, farmers often get non-competitive or you can say very cheap prices for their crops, which may not be remunerative. Okay. Then next comes e-Granthalaya. This is an integrated library management software, Granthalaya, books, developed by National Informatics Center, Department of Electronics and Information Technology. This is useful for automation of in-house activities of libraries and to provide various online services to members. Okay. Then this builds in basically web opaque interface to publish the library catalog over internet. Software is called Unicode compliant. Next comes ePanchayat, Agri Market app, then eGranthalaya app. Next comes ePanchayat. This is also e-governance initiative for rural sector. It basically provides comprehensive software solution attempting automation of Gram Panchayat functions. Okay. So it is a platform for Panchayat representatives to connect with the rest of the world, which aims to bring out the local voices by empowering the local communities. Then next comes eNAM. eNAM is Electronic National Agriculture Market. It is a pan-India electronic trading portal which networks the existing APMC. APMCs are Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, Mandis, to create a unified national market for agriculture commodities. So the NAM portal, it basically provides a single window services for all APMC related information and services. Next comes mKavach. mKavach is this is a comprehensive mobile device security solution with an emphasis and approach on protecting mobile device resources rather than scanning for malware signatures. So it is designed to provide protection against the above mentioned threats like data compromise, malicious application, physical theft, misutilization of hardware resources. Okay. There are some storage, secure storage, application manager, anti-theft, all SMS filter, and these are the different types. Then next comes Umang. Umang is a very popular and very important key initiative of Digital India program. Umang stands for Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance. This is under the Digital India program to develop a common unified platform and mobile app to facilitate a single point of access to all government services. Unified mobile application for new age governance. So through this single mobile app and unified portal platform, citizens can access to so many government services. Okay. Then comes benefits of Digital India. What are the benefits of Digital India? This one. Benefits of Digital India. So, like we have already discussed, it makes possible the implementation of different schemes like digital locker system. Then discuss, it can be a platform to discuss, do, and disseminate information. Ensures achievements of various online goals set by the government. Then it makes possible that people can submit their documents and certificate online without not going there physically. Then e-sign framework, citizens may digitally sign their documents online. There is very important initiative of this e-sign, especially for pensioner, like pensioner who need to submit their life certificate. Now they can digitally sign their life certificate, and rather than pensioner who are often at very old age, and they need to rather than them needing to go like in bank or some other post office to get their pension and submit their digital life certificate, their life certificate. Earlier, it used to happen that they need to go there physically and they have to submit their life certificate, even if they're alive. That yeah, they're alive and this is their certificate. So it was very troubling for them. Like they're very old age people, right? So that's why this e-sign framework, it enables them to digitally sign their life certificate online from the comfort of their home. Okay. Then it also provides benefits to the beneficiaries like National Scholarship Portal, Canada Scholarship Portal for UGC. Then it's a big platform which facilitates an efficient delivery of government or private services. BharatNet program, it will connect almost 22,50,000 gram panchayats of the country. High speed digital highway. Then there are different like Wi-Fi hotspots. Okay. Then comes after discussing benefits of Digital India, let us discuss AIM governance. What is AIM governance? So AIM governance is basically it is subdomain of e-governance, which is a part of Digital India. So it ensures that electronic services are available to people via mobile technology. So in M governance, M stands for mobile. Okay. So mobile smartphone. So these services bypass the need for traditional physical network for communication and collaboration. And mobile services are also cheaper as well. And they're also accessible in most of the rural areas in India. So increasing the mobile phone accessibility, adaptability, and with the millions of subscription base, governments are now trying to promote mobile phone in delivery of e-governance services. In the last few years, governments have seen mobile phones can empower citizens and they can affect the way citizens interact with each other and with society at large. So mobile phones are also considered to be an effective tool in strengthening democracy through better citizen government interaction, influencing the political decision making process, and making government accountable for their activities. So AIM governance, it aims at providing fast and easy access of public services to citizens through mobile devices. Okay, mobile banking, and there is a scheme like uh, where bank account, mobile, and Aadhaar, they are helping that in Jandhan account where subsidies to targeted subsidies are being directly given to the bank account. Jandhan, Jandhan Aadhaar, Jandhan account. Okay. The next one, mobile services delivery gateway, MSDG. This is very important. MSDG, it basically enables delivery of public services over mobile devices through various mobile-based channels like SMS, USSD, IVRS, mobile application. So the objective of creating the MSDG is to put in place government-wide shared infrastructure and services to enhance its interoperability across various public services as well as reduces the total cost of operation of AIM governance services. So MSDG supports the following delivery channel. For example, SMS, stands for short message services, IVRS, interactive voice response system, USSD, unstructured supplementary service data, CBS, cell broadcasting services, LBS, location-based services, and mobile payment services. Okay. Then comes Make in India. This is the Make in India. So today we'll try to cover Unit 2, Unit 1 and Unit 2. Okay. So Make in India, it was a campaign. It was launched in 2014. This Make in India by the Government of India. So this initiative was a precursor to the Digital India scheme. It was basically a call to the top business investors all across the world to invest in India and manufacture in India. So it was a big opportunity to all the investors to set up their businesses, manufacturing, textiles, automobiles, production, retail, chemicals, IT, ports, pharmaceuticals, hospitality, tourism, wellness, almost everything in any field in the country. So this attractive plan has it has lot of resourceful proposals for the foreign companies to set up manufacturing powerhouses in India and to make India a manufacturing hub. Okay, so this was launched by the Indian government and its focus was on building the effective physical infrastructure as well as improving the market of digital network. Okay, so the government of India has created a dedicated help team and an online portal also for the easy and effective communication of investor. And this plan will help in the 100 smart cities project and affordable housing in India. So this project have lot of potential if implemented effectively. Okay, it focuses on creating number of valuable and honored jobs as well as skill enhancement in almost 25 sectors for improving the status of each of the country. Okay, then comes cashless India. Cashless India is a move that has it has assumed significance, especially in the backdrop of that initiative called demonetization of high value currency by the government. On November 8, 2016, Prime Minister announced demonetization of currency notes of rupees 500 and rupees 1000 and took the people by surprise. So basically, the government intention was that behind demonetization or making this cashless India or less cash India was that it will reduce or it will eliminate black money in India, and it will also does away with the lot of hassle for carrying cash, and it is also in keeping with the worldwide trend where people need not carry any cash in various countries around the world. Most of the transactions there are done electronically. Even there are countries like Estonia, which has introduced a lot of digital governance. Then in digital transaction, you can view history of your expenses at one go, which can also help you for better management of your budget. Then cashless transactions are traceable. As tax collection become easy through the cashless mode. Yeah, then income increased tax collection lead to reduction in simplification of the tax structure. Then transfer of monetary benefits to the poor. Cashless transaction deal a body blow to the counterfeit currency. This was the distribution of black money through Hawala channels and all. So it also cuts the supply of unaccounted money. Then it also saved the government substantial cost in printing and circulation of currency. Okay, so these were the different objectives, or you can say different reasons why government went for uh, cashless India, and these were the benefits. Now, having discussed this, now let us go to the challenge of digital India. What is the challenge of digital India? Before we will sum up. So the Digital India project, it is no doubt one of the largest projects to date because it embraces all the government machinery, all the government departments, and its aims to create a truly participatory democracy with the use of digital technology. So its target is to connect more than 130 crore Indians with the government so that they could avail services and benefits of the government services in real time. And they also get their grievances addressed in quick time. Like there is a portal called CP Gram portal, where if you have some grievances uh, against the central government department or even state government department, you can put across your grievances, and your grievances will be redressed within a stipulated time in a time bound manner. Okay. Then, though there are a lot of potential for digital India, but there are a lot of challenges as well. And what are the challenges? Challenges, for example, this BharatNet project connecting 250,000 gram panchayat through national optical fiber network is a challenge. It's not an easy task, right? Improving IT literacy is a great task, and this is important before your project becomes successful. So it is necessary that mass of the people must know how to utilize digital services. Digital literacy is very important. Then security of data is also important, especially uh, in the backdrop of there are a lot of security breaches like open cyber attacks on different organization and institution. Last year we heard uh, cyber attacks on AIMS server data in Delhi, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So that's why we have to be like very careful, and we also have to augment our capability in cybersecurity, enhancing its infrastructure. Then comes an immediate action to combat the digital divide. Like there is a divide between people who have access to digital equipment and services and those who are not having access to digital devices. Then many of the mobile device applications are developed in using English language. So language in a country in a country as diverse as ours, where there is so much linguistic diversity, and most of the mobile applications are developed using English language. So as many of the citizens understand only the vernacular language, it hinders the use of application. So this is one of the factors which will give challenge to the digital India initiative, language barrier. Then summing up, we'll say that Digital India is a program to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. So the Digital India is transformational in nature and would ensure that government services are available to citizens electronically. It would also bring in it will also bring in public accountability through mandated delivery of government services electronically. For example, a unique ID and e-Praman based on authentic and standard-based interoperable and integrated government application and databases. So the objectives of the Digital India is centered on three key areas. There's digital infrastructure as it's related to every citizen. Number one, governance and services on demand. And number three, digital empowerment of citizens. So the overall aim of this program is to prepare India for a knowledge future, to make technology central to enable change. Hence, the Digital India program will pull together many, uh, it will pull together many existing schemes which would be restructured and refocused, and it can be implemented in a synchronized manner. Okay, so that was the all for today, and that is the end of this class. So in our next class, we'll discuss unit 3. Okay, so that's all. If you have any doubts and any queries, please feel free to text me in chat box, or you can ask me next class. Okay, thank you.